crazy? You want me to throw more beers out? You want me to body slam somebody? You want me to body slam Kamala Harris?
Let's not forget what Hulk Hogan stood for.
Hogan showed up at that wild rally at Madison Square Garden, and he was implying that Kamala Harris, who he refused to pronounce her name properly, right? He talked about, used her name like he was one of them cats that he used to wrestle against. He had opportunities to atone with what he got caught saying. He didn't do that. He wanted to be remembered in this way. He didn't even have the wherewithal, because if you look up what he said about his daughter, and he said his daughter was dating some N-word, and that he hoped that at least if she was dating the N-word, it could be a rich N-word, like a rapper or a basketball player. Anyway, the Hulkster put that out there. He had chances to be like, hey, my bad. And he was, no, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. He ain't even have it in him to be like, I didn't mean it. He wanted us to think this about him. And if he wanted us to think this about him, then he must not have minded if some people danced on his grave. That was his call.
As Bomani Jones discussed on The Right Time, this may very well be his legacy.
Hogan is heard on the tape, which was recorded in 2006, talking about his daughter Brooke, who he accused of sleeping with an African American. I mean, I am a racist to a point. But then, when it comes to nice people and whatever, then says, I mean, I'd rather, if she was going to some, I'd rather have her marry an 8-foot worth $100 million, like a basketball player. Guess we're all a little racist.
It's almost laughable anyone would excuse this behavior, especially when he never felt sorry or gave a serious apology for his bigotry.
Rest in peace, R.I.P. Or does R.I.P. stand for he was a real ignorant piece of shit? It was just disappointing, when he just went off about black people, using the N-word left and right. And when Hulk Hogan said that, for him to say that with all his black fans, it's like when Michael Richards snapped and was using the N-word. We liked Kramer. I love Kramer. Kramer was our guy. And he went off doing that N-word. We were like, yo, get the out of here. One thing I hate is I hate racists, man. I hate them. And I always want them to go away. I always want them to go away. Get the out of here. I don't wish anything on anybody. Death, I don't wish. But, how am I supposed to feel that a racist mother is gone? Is that process of elimination? It's like, hey, is that letting nature take care of it?
Thus, show favorite Godfrey the comedian gives his perspective on it.
And I'm going to tell you what we're not going to do when Hulk Hogan passes away. We're not going to disrespect the Hulkster. That's what we're not going to do. Is we're not going to be disrespecting Hulk Hogan, the Hulkster. I don't care if he had some controversy outside of the ring. I don't care if he endorsed Donald Trump. We're talking about one of the most original characters in American popular culture history, whether you know wrestling or you're a fan of wrestling or not.
Wrong take, bad take, stupid take. Michael Rapaport.
Listen, people have complicated legacies. Everybody has done something. That doesn't mean that it needs to be the headline. But I think it's a little different with Hulk Hogan. Like a lot of young people of a certain time, I was a Hulkamaniac. I loved Hulk Hogan. I used to practice the leg drop in my living room. Like I was a really big fan. And so the level of disappointment and disgust that I felt hearing him not just use the N-word repeatedly, but showing a particular disgust for black people. I think it's fair to bring that up. It's fair that there are certain people that look at him dying and say, well, wait a minute. It's kind of like when the Queen died. There were a lot of people who brought up, sort of what was her role in the colonization of Africa. And I think that's fair. Like, we can't look at these legacies and feel like just because somebody's died that we're obligated to only remember the positive things. Sometimes they do character-defining things in the process of that legacy that deserve examination, scrutiny, and if some people prefer not to remember him fondly, I think it's their right.
Hold on, that means my best friend. You know that God gave you this vibe and this energy that you and I are going to live forever, bro. I just hope you don't come back with a couple, I don't want to say it, what does that give eyes, you know what I'm saying?
So Hulk Hogan passed recently, and of course he was a controversial figure. I will say this, whatever wherever Hulk is at, either up or down, he has run his race. So nothing that we can say, we in the land of the living can say can hurt him anymore, but they certainly can hurt his family. And I respect his family saying that this is not the time to remind people he was a racist. But now all members of his family feel that way. Like one of his daughters primarily believes that she doesn't want any money from him. She doesn't want to have anything to do with fighting for the estate. And they didn't speak. Do you know how horrible you got to be to have someone that loves you or that grew up with you not forgive you in death? So it doesn't matter what we say. It doesn't matter what the public at large says. Somebody in his family saying that because he talked about her so bad and said such inflammatory things because she was dating a black man, that so she's calling him a racist. But all of us are remembered by not only the good we did, but the bad. And what you hope is that you've done enough good that it counteracts the other one. But you are remembered for the good you do and the bad. The things that they want to remember and the things that they want to forget. And when someone in your family, your father in particular, especially with a father and a daughter, has said something that you cannot forget or forgive in death, that tells you everything you need to know about the man we're discussing.
But what happened last week when they took a shot at my hero and they tried to kill the next president of the United States? Enough was enough. And I said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother. Let Trumpomania rule again. Let Trumpomania make America great again.
So why exactly is it that we had so much affection for the Hulkster, right? And look, that's the question that gets us to the grave dancing, because the grave dancing came around because people found it, this is my belief, that people found it to be so disappointing when you found out like the depths of Hulkamania's racism. Like that was tough for a lot of people. And I know for black people, hey man, we don't necessarily want to be, admit this and understand how it sounds, but it's the truth, man. It's a special kind of pain when you feel like you got a white homie and then you find out he kicking it like your granddaddy told you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's rough when you find that out. It's a unique sort of sting and betrayal that you get in those moments, right?
Hulk Hogan fired a brand ambassador because she was black. We already know how Hulk Hogan feels about black women dating one of his children. So we already know that. That recording's out there. Influencer Essence, Jemele, has made allegations against Hulk Hogan that she was fired from her position as a brand ambassador for Hogan's, quote, real American beer, end quote, business due to her being black. According to this influencer via her TikTok, her contract was supposed to last a week, but after promoting the brand for just one day on July 2nd, Hogan canceled the contract, okay? So she revealed that she was replaced immediately by other brand ambassadors on July 3rd who were white. She also shared a text message from Hogan's team stating that Hogan wanted to cancel the events completely. Quote, her agent wrote, Essence, you didn't do anything wrong at all. In fact, I'm sure you did great. But this client wants us to cancel the rest of the event this week. I'm really sorry. So she replied, oh my God, what happened? Are they only taking me off of the events or are they canceling the events completely? Her agent replied, all the rest of the events are canceled completely.
He fired a black woman that was supposed to be advertising his beer products and he replaced it with a white woman. So, yo, man, I'm not going to be phony. There's some black people that are supporting him. That's your business. But my take is he was a piece of to us. And we supported the out of him. He was a piece of and we were like Hulk Hogan fans, man. And a lot of these white heroes that we have tend to disappoint us all the time and just disrespect black people. And we pay money to see these mother.
You and Hulk were once good friends.
Yeah.
What's the likelihood of that ever being repaired?
Never.
What?
Can't trust him. And he's the one that ratted me to Vince when I tried to unionize.
I found that out under federal deposition when Vince was put under sworn, and he didn't hesitate at all. I told my lawyer the story, and in deposition you could ask about anything. And so I wanted to know who ratted me in the locker room, because there were no agents, no one from the office was in there when I did it. So it had to be one of the boys. And when my attorney said, Mr. McMahon, has there ever been a union in wrestling? And Vince said, no. He said, has anyone ever tried to? And Vince said, well, I think Jesse Ventura spouted his mouth off about it once before. And my attorney said, did you hear Mr. Ventura? No. Well, then how do you know he did? With no hesitation, Vince went, Hulk Hogan told me. And I didn't show any emotion, but I almost tipped over in the chair because he was my friend.
So why exactly is it that we had so much affection for the Hulkster, right? And look, that's the question that gets us to the grave dancing, because the grave dancing came around because people found it, this is my belief, that people found it to be so disappointing when you found out like the depths of Hulkamania's racism. Like that was tough for a lot of people. And I know for black people, hey man, we don't necessarily want to be, admit this and understand how it sounds, but it's the truth, man. It's a special kind of pain when you feel like you got a white homie and then you find out he kicking it like your granddaddy told you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's rough when you find that out. It's a unique sort of sting and betrayal that you get in those moments. Right?
Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/TYTsports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.